Here we go. Tasty Tuesday comes again. Gonna do the peppers. I got one of each color. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? What I'm going to stuff them with is hamburger. The best hamburger ever. And yeah, Riverbend ranch meat. I've never had such good beef. I know you guys have seen me post on it, especially in my stories. I try to share that with you because it is the best. So, you know, it's just got all the never evers. You know, no hormones, no antibiotics, it's just the best. Just trust me, and the flavor is freaking amazing. So the other thing I use is I'm going to use my favorite from Epicure because they have clean seasonings. I just love them. Poco Picante. So basically we're going to go with a Mexican theme to these beautiful peppers. And I got it in here, quinoa. So I'm going to get ready to do that. I'm going to mix a little quinoa in with the hamburger, and then I'm going to stuff peppers with that, with this, seasoning it. And then over the top, I'm going to get some cheddar. Got to cheese it up a little. So I've also got some garlic and onion going on. So I will film while I'm prepping, but right now I've got the oven heating up, and I'm going to get the quinoa started. So if y'all aren't a fan of quinoa, I just wanted to let you know, I cook my quinoa. I prefer red. Don't know why, just I like the red. It is just like rice, and if you don't like quinoa or don't even want to try it because you think the name is funny, then don't. Use rice. A lot of people do the rice and hamburger mix in their peppers. Do that, but I want to try the quinoa this time. And what I mean by I do it just like rice is usually rice, it's 1 cup of rice to 1 cup of water. With quinoa, I do 1 cup of quinoa with 2 cups of water. That's the only difference. I cook it the same way, same amount of time. So here we go. Let's cut up this garlic. See if I can. I've been getting it in the jar lately, so I'm not used to cutting them anymore. I got spoiled getting it already cut up for me. But, you know, I can do this. Definitely can do this. It's pretty easy just to run your knife through it. And I got my favorite trusty knife. I know that last video I did last week, oh my gosh, I felt strained because I was using another knife that I wasn't familiar with. I gotta stick to my basics and keep my Chicago blade here. There we go. There's the garlic. Now I'm only going to use a half of this onion, so and yeah, everybody cuts different. I try to cut so that I don't drive people crazy, like I'm doing right now. I'm probably going to drive some people crazy, but this is how I do it. I usually do better, but this onion is super soft, so I usually like working with white onions. They just come together easier for me. So anyway, that's all the cutting I'm doing. Cook time 20 minutes to perfection. Look at that nice, fluffy, yummy little spirals that are so full of goodness and protein. Okay, now I'm going to add it to the hamburger. Just a little, about half of that. We're going to stuff the peppers now, and this is what I did. I cut them in half because I had bottoms that were not going to sit up where you could, you know, do it from the top. So I cut them in half. Just cut them clean in half, remove the stem, and clean the inside out. And here they are. So I've got the hamburger ready, and I am just going to stuff with this mixture. And like I said, you can use whatever you want. Say you're a vegetarian, I'm sure you could come up with some kind of filling, or a vegan. You could come up with some kind of filling of your own. You don't have to use hamburger. If you're not a big fan of quinoa, use rice. Don't use anything. I don't know. You know, it's a matter of preference, but they all cook up the same. Put whatever theme you want. A lot of times I've gone Italian and used Italian seasoning and a lot of tomato sauce, you know. So it came out like a marinara. When my kids were little, they liked stuffed peppers, but we would do like cheeseburger. So I would put the cheese inside the meat and the cheese would melt inside. It was just like eating a peppery cheeseburger. So I mean, you just do whatever you want. Stuffed peppers you could just be so creative with, and it's a blast, an absolute blast. So what I have done is set the oven for 400, and I'm going to cook these for 30 minutes, and then, isn't that pretty? I will be back. Here we go. It looks amazing. I'm just trying not to get burnt. So, look at those. They turned out great. That 30 minutes was just right. So, what color do I want? I'm going to start with red. I'm going to start with a red one. The other thing is, I told you I was going to put cheese on top. I do it when they're done and just kind of let it melt. But a lot of people like the cheese kind of crispy, so you can put it on like the last 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how crispy you like the cheese. Put that on towards the end when you've got about 10 minutes left on your timer. But anyway, let's check this out. And by the way, I want to thank you guys for sending in your recipes. I love that, especially if it's like your dad's favorite recipe that your mom always cooked, or one of your grandma's good recipes that you would love me to cook for you. That would make me so happy. You know, some of your guys' favorite things that you wouldn't mind sharing. So keep bringing them, letting them come in, bringing them in. I am excited to do that. Cooking is one of my favorite things to do, and if I can make you guys happy by doing it, that's even better. This is hot. Oh my goodness. This is perfect. Absolutely wonderful with the quinoa. Fan-freaking-tastic. So, in between doing this, like during the week, I noticed I got too much free time. I will do like little breakfast things, smoothies, desserts, in between, like share them to my stories. So, keep an eye out. And like I said, keep those recipes coming in. Thank you so much for being here and watching me.